Ye Wu Bin's 100 Lessons to Mastering Time Management. Lesson 10. Clear your mind and eliminate emergencies using the 4D principle. Hello again, everyone. My name is Ye Wu Bin from Easy Efficiency. I am so happy to be with you now at 6 a.m. on the Himalaya app. For those of you who have been following my lessons, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome aboard. I am so happy to have you with us. You know, time is man's scarcest resource. Once it's used, it can never be regained. So if you're not using your time effectively, or if the time you are spending is only getting you farther away from your dreams in life, then stay with me, listen a while, and I am confident that I can help open your eyes to a new path that will get you closer to your dreams. I want to remind you that there are 100 classes in this album, and every class, every lesson, lasts about 6 minutes. It is updated at 6 a.m. New York City time each morning. In our last lesson, we learned about working from the bottom up, and how doing this will create more time for you later. The bottom up means working on important and urgent problems first, before working on those important non-urgent problems. Let me give you an example to help you visualize what this means. Suppose that you are an air traffic control commander at Beijing Capital International Airport, and you are responsible for directing flight traffic. That means you're responsible for making sure that airplanes fly at the right times in the right directions. In your position, what do you think is your most important goal? Well, you're absolutely right. Your first and primary concern is to ensure that the airplanes leaving the runway and going into the air, and those that are landing on the runway from the air, do not crash into each other. This, of course, is your primary concern. If you fail this primary goal, people will die. Thus, it's your most important and urgent goal. Now, there are also secondary urgent matters. What is secondary? It means that the matter is important, but not the most important thing. In other words, it's not the most urgent thing. It is non-urgent. As commander of the control tower, you control a complex multi-layered system. On the top, most important layer, the planes must depart and land in the right order safely. So first, how will you want to focus to make sure this gets accomplished? Well, you must focus on the airplanes that are departing the runway and lifting into the sky. That's most important, because the planes coming down from the sky cannot land unless there's a space on the runway for them to land to. So if the plane hasn't departed into the sky first, the space will not be available for them to land into. So by focusing on the immediately urgent and most important items first, can you see how departing planes will create the space that arriving planes need to land on? If you reverse the order and focused instead on the urgent but non-important matters, then you would have created less space, not more, as landing planes would need to find what little available space they could. Also, as air control commander, you cannot focus on planes leaving and arriving 2 hours from now in the future if you must attend to traffic congestion and confusion that is currently important in front of you. That is, those that are landing and departing right now. So by focusing on what is immediately in front of you, you will create the time in the future for you to be able to focus on what's later to be important. Your ability to control the activities of the airport and in your life greatly increase if you work in an organized and logical fashion, focusing on what is important and what is right in front of you first. As this clears, as you complete those tasks, you can begin to focus on the other secondary matters that are still very important. This is what Stephen Covey refers to as the non-urgent but important matters. And Covey says this is the most important area of time management to focus on. Now, however, as you are focusing on these non-urgent and important matters, you still have planes landing and departing that you must be aware of. It's in this way that your focus cannot remain too long on a single task. You must be efficient. You must be able to get things done quickly and effectively, or else you will never be able to move forward. In your life, just like in the airport, you must be able to first identify and control the urgent, important matters. And only after you have eliminated these important, urgent matters will you be able to complete the essential, important, non-urgent matters. Can you see it? So in order to live in the second quadrant, those important non-urgent matters mentioned in the 7 habits of highly effective people, we need to first deal with important urgent matters in front of us. So what do you do with urgent, unimportant matters? These are the 80% that Peter Drucker told us we should delegate or simply remove. If they are unimportant, they do not need to be completed. It is impossible for you to skip important urgent matters and instead focus first on important non-urgent matters. You cannot let planes land unless you first let planes depart into the sky and make that space available. In the same way, you cannot focus on important non-urgent matters until you make the energy and space available for you to work on them first. So work from the bottom up, from the runway to the sky. From the important and urgent to the important and non-urgent. So let's focus now on what methods we can use to focus on these important and unimportant urgent matters. In other words, how can we eliminate and categorize these quickly? There's 4 possibilities. You can do it yourself. You can delegate it or give it to other people to do. Delay it and do it later. Or delete it and never do it. This is called the 4D principle. Do, delegate, delay, delete. The order is important. First, you must do what is important and urgent yourself. If something is important but not urgent, then, second, you delegate them to others. For tasks that are unimportant and non-urgent, third, delay these. And finally, if something is really unimportant, delete these. So you have your game plan. Do, delegate, delay, delete. The question becomes, which tasks get which D? Which are your important urgent matters and which are not important? To figure this out, to classify correctly, you must integrate everything we've learned so far. First, collect all of your tasks and assemble them in one place. We'll call this place your inbox. The inbox is a central location where you collect all of your tasks, no matter how important or unimportant, no matter how urgent or non-urgent. It doesn't matter. Every single one of your tasks in one place. It can be on paper using paper or pen. It could be on Android or an iPhone app. It can be on your computer. Of course, the simplest is paper. Now, only after you have written all of your tasks down can you begin to classify them according to the 4D principle. If you can't write all of them down in one place at one time, you will not be able to determine what is truly most important and urgent. And only after you have included all of the tasks in one place can you properly select the critical few tasks that deserve special attention to planning, these important second quadrant non-urgent tasks. So in today's lesson, in summary, there are 2 important conclusions. Number 1, assemble all of your tasks and responsibilities from your brain into one place, your inbox. Second, classify them as one of the 4 Ds: do, delegate, delay, delete. Alright guys, that's all for this class. If you want a text transcript of our programs, please follow us on Facebook. Have a wonderful day.